Hello and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and the Old Republic Quickies. Today I'll be talking about trade skills. Just very quick one. First, I want to go over each of the trade skills. In the Old Republic, they are called crew skills. But most of you will know them as trade skills, so I'm going to refer to them as trade skills for the most part. But keep in mind, in the game they're called crew skills, and there's a reason for that, and we'll go over that in just a moment. But again, quickly going over the crew skills, there are 14 of them, and I will talk about them and their interdependencies quickly here. Archaeology. Archaeology is a collection skill. It's good to pair up with artificing and Sith weaving. Armor mech, basically, this is creating armor for non-force users. So basically, like Imperial agents, bounty hunters, things of that nature. You pair that up with scavenging and underworld training. Arms tech, that is a weapons producer for non-force users. Again, Imperial agents, bounty hunters, commandos, things of that nature. You pair that up with scavenging and investigation. An artificer, this is a weapon creator for force users, Jedi, counselors, Sith warriors, things of that nature. You pair this up with archaeology and treasure hunting. And when I'm talking about pairing things up, I'm saying you pair it up because you use archaeology, for example, to gather power crystals and color crystals to create the lightsabers with artificing. Bioanalysis. Bioanalysis, you use that to create stems, med packs, implants, things of that nature. You pair that up with just biochem. And biochem, you pair that up with bioanalysis. How odd. You can also use pair it up with diplomacy as well, as that can get medical supplies. Cyber tech, you use that to create droid armor, earpieces, armoring, various mods, things of that nature. You pair that with scavenging and underworld trading. Diplomacy is a gathering skill. You create that with biochem. You could also use that to increase your dark or light side points. Just a note, it takes a long time to raise your dark or light that way, so don't expect to quickly raise your dark or light side points with diplomacy. Investigation, again, it's a gathering skill. It's recommended for pretty much any trade skill, but in particular for arms tech. Scavenging, you basically scavenge metal from piles, armor piles from droids that you kill, things of that nature. You pair that with armor mech, arms tech, or cyber tech. Slicing, you can use slicing to. There's actually various saves in the world. You can actually open those and get money. I think they have other loot as well. You can pair that with anything because you get discoveries via missions. You can also pair it up with cyber tech for schematics. Synth weaving, that is armor for force users. You pair that up with archaeology and underworld trading. Treasure hunting is another gathering profession. You use that, or you can pair that with artifice. Also, several treasure hunting and several other of these crew skills, the gathering crew skills, you can use to gather other things as well, such as companion gifts, things of that nature. And the very last one is underworld trading. You can pair that with armor mech, cyber tech, and Sith weaving. You can also, it doesn't say that, but you can also pair it with artificer, because you can also get blue metal or metals that you need with that. And again, with underworld trading, you can also get companion gifts as well. Now, how does the crafting work in this game? You can have up to 3 crew skills on your character. Your crew skills are shared amongst your crew, which is why they're called crew skills. Ironically enough, your character actually doesn't do the vast majority of the crafting or anything to do with the crew skills. The only thing he actually really does is he can gather materials from the world, like minerals, plants, things like that, if he sees them. But the actual crafting, he does not do. The actual missions, things like that, your companions do that. Now, I've opened the crew management window to hopefully make this make more sense. But before, as I said, you can choose 3 crew skills, and theoretically you should choose them so that they work together. This character, for example, has Sith weaving, archaeology, and underworld trading. I chose this 3 because Sith weaving makes armor for Jedi, and archaeology and underworld trading allows me to gather components that I can use in Sith weaving. So, when I pull up my crew skill, my crew management, I've got 2 companions. I've got my adventuring companion, and I've got my ship companion, which is given to me when I was given my ship. Now, this ship companion can't actually come out and adventure with me, but I can send him out to do things. So, let's say that I want to make a savant sash. I've got the materials to make 45 of these. This tells you how many that you can make. This shows you how many of the what items you need to make it. So if I click on here, I would need a rubalt crystal and shadow silk. But this just needs rubalt crystals. I need 2. I have 90. This shows you how long it takes to make them, and if I hover over it, it will give me the stats on the item. Now below, I can see who I have selected to make it. I can click the drop down and change it. He gets a bonus, 15 archaeology efficiency and +5 bioanalysis efficiency bonus for crafting missions, things of that nature. So now let's say I want him to go ahead and make this sash. Now that I have it selected, I click craft. Now if he's with me, he disappears and he goes off to make the sash. This appears down here saying that he's off making items, and it shows here that he's got a timer. Now let's say I want to make a bunch of these. I'm going to be in town, I don't need him, or I've got another companion with me. I can actually queue up to 5 items, but I'll say, let's see, make 2 of these, and let's make 2 of these, and actually let's make 3 of these because that's all I've got the materials for. You can't make any more. You can only queue up 5 items at a time. So he will make this. When he's finished, he'll move on to the next item, the next, the next, the next. So now, while he's doing that, I want this guy I want him to do an underworld trading mission. Now, what is an underworld trading mission? I thought that was a trade skill. Well, the trade skills in this game are a little different. You can actually do missions for any of the gathering abilities. Archaeology is the same way. Basically, they are missions that you send your companions on to gather the resources for that trade skill. So, for example, underworld trading. If I click that, I can see a list of missions he can go on right now. It shows the time it takes, the cost, and what I will get. Moderate yield, rank 1 companion gifts. And let's say I want luxury fabrics because I'm a Sith weaver. I want the blue fabrics. Now you'll see it cost me 115 credits to send him on this mission, and it takes 6 minutes for him to do it. But let's say instead I want I just want you to do archaeology. These are a lot shorter, 4 to 5 minutes. The reason is with underworld trading, you're actually always getting a blue item back. So as long as the mission doesn't fail, you're always getting a blue item back. So these are going to be a little bit shorter time frame. But you also see the price is a little bit more. You'll see because these archaeology skill is a little higher, so the mission level is a little higher. So at any rate, I want to get grade 2 power crystals. So I'm just going to double click on that.
I will exceed your expectations, Master.
Now he is off doing that mission. Now you cannot queue missions, unfortunately. You basically just have to wait till he comes back, and then once he's back, he'll do the mission. Now you'll notice the affection is listed here. Affection your character's affection for you affects how long it takes them to do these missions. So you want them to build affection, because over time, as you play the game, you'll get them making stuff faster for you. Now you'll notice he's finished all the belts and one of the gloves, and as he finishes, they will show up in your inventory. Now, they can also produce high quality items. I don't think he did that this time. No, they'll have a special name next to them. It'll also give you a message when that happens. But let's say that, you know what, I really don't want these belts and I don't want to sell them. I want to reverse engineer them. I want to make this belt but better. What I can do is I can click reverse engineering, and everything that I cannot reverse engineer grays out. Everything I can reverse engineer lights up. What you can reverse engineer is based on whatever trade skills you have. I'm not 100% sure why some things are reverse engineerable and some aren't. I've seen some light armor that I cannot reverse engineer, so I don't quite understand how they decide that. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and reverse engineer these gloves, because I want to see if I can learn how to make the blue version of these combat synth gloves. So I just right click on them. I get some of my resources back. You don't get all of your resources back, but you get some of your resources back. I didn't learn a new recipe there. Nope, didn't get it there. Now I already have the blue recipe for these sashes, so I'm just reverse engineering them to get some crystals back. So this is a good way to, if you're just going to mass produce items, you don't care about money, you don't care about getting your money back and selling them at a loss to vendors, you can just keep disenchanting. You can reverse engineer them to get some of your mats back, to just keep making them. Again, you don't get all your mats back, so you will, over time, have to go and get new materials. Now, early on, it is kind of difficult. Now, see, my companion just showed back up. He finished the last in the queue. And by the way, once his queue is down to 4 or less, I could have queued more items right back up, but I didn't, because I did want him to pop back. So I'm going to reverse engineer this last glove. And unfortunately, I didn't learn the blue. But if you keep doing that, you will eventually learn the upgraded version of that. And then you will need, once you build these, you can actually keep building these and reverse engineer these, and you will learn the purple version of that. I don't know if you can go higher than that. Maybe you can at higher levels. I don't know. I have not tried that. But that is, good to know if you're just making, like you can see, I can make 40 of these. So, you make 5 or 6. It usually doesn't take too long, at least at low levels, to learn the higher levels. You do not get skill points from reverse engineering, but again, you do want the higher level blues just for the stats, or if you want to sell them in this game's version of the auction house or what have you.
Most advanced droids cannot make a shimmer silk purse from a bantha's ear, Master. I promise to do better next time.
I think the lingo is messed up. Sometimes they say negative things even when they're successful. But anyway, so his mission is completed. He come back. He got 2 power crystals. So great, I got the 2 power crystals, and that's it. So now I can either send him on another mission, or I can have him craft. I can have both of them craft. I can have them both on missions, whatnot. Now you notice at the top it says max deployable 2. I can get more companions as the story goes on, but right now, even if I added a third, I can only have 2 of them deployed. The hardest part is at the very beginning of the game, where you've only got the 1 companion, and a lot of classes need that companion to level efficiently, so you can't really have them out doing the trade skill missions. So the best is really to, while you're either in an instance or while you're just running around town, to send them out and to do the missions. Now this is important if you're worried about getting affection hits, because you tend to get your affection hits while you're doing quests. even if your companion is out crafting or selling items, you still get your affection hits even if your companion is off doing trade skill stuff. So you don't have to worry about that. And of course, up here, you can see your overall crew skills. At synth weaving, I'm at 46 of 400. Archaeology, I'm 89 of 400. And underworld trading, I'm at 17 of 400. And finally, the last thing I wanted to cover was you do have to retrain to learn new skills. You would just go back to your trainer as you progress in skill. For example, I learned new gloves and new boot skills at level 20 of synth weaving. And it looks like the server is coming down, so you can see I waited to the last minute to do this. But I think that just about covers everything with the trade skills. The only thing I really missed was sometimes your companion can make an exceptional item. The stats are just slightly better than they normally would be. Obviously, you would really want them to do that on a blue or a purple item. But other than that, I think that just about covers it. It covers the trade skills. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments field below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.